Hey, happy Tuesday, teammates. Welcome to this week's team meeting. And I'm Regional Vice President Herman Lopez, and I am super excited for the message that we're going to train on today. We're going to actually talk about creating a winning schedule. I believe a winning schedule is the difference maker, guys, between the people that make it big success, achieve their goals and dreams versus people that are just average mediocrity or never accomplish their goals and dreams. And so winning, guys, is possible to anybody. Winning in business, winning in life, winning in Primerica is possible if you have a winning schedule. You guys, you see, you got to understand having a winning schedule does make the difference. Life tends to always bring things up. There's different seasons in life, and so if you don't have a schedule that is designed where regardless of what may happen, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what life may throw your way, you're still winning because you have a set schedule in place to win. And so, guys, I want to encourage you, if you don't have anything to take notes on right now, you need to pull something up. You need to pause this video, go ahead and pause it, because you're going to want to take some notes, because creating a winning schedule is the reason I have been able to create a business. As starting at age 18, guys, I got started in Primerica as an 18-year-old high school student, knowing absolutely nothing about business, nothing about money and finance, nothing about leadership, nothing about working with people, absolutely nothing about nothing. But because I learned to develop how to have a winning schedule, that is the reason, we've been able to create a business, and we're still in business, after 8 years and train developing others and building our dream life, guys. And so you're going to want to take a lot of notes on this stuff. So let's go ahead and dive straight into this. I know I normally start our team meetings with some announcements, but we're going to save that actually towards the end, because I want to make sure I have plenty of time with you guys today to cover creating a winning schedule. This is probably going to be one of the best trainings that we're going to cover, guys. And so you might want to watch this multiple times. Make sure all your teammates are watching this. This could be some great stuff. So first off, you need to understand your life. And I got my notes down here, by the way, if you see me kind of glancing down here, but your life is a result of how you've decided to use your time. Think about that for a second. It's a level playing field. We all have 24 hours in a day. A lot of people achieve great things in life, and a lot of people don't achieve much. And it all has to do with how you use the 24 hours that you've been blessed with to receive every single day, right? And so there's 3 ways that you can use your time. You can either waste your time, you can either spend your time, or you can invest your time. And the key thing here, guys, is you get to decide how to use your time. Time is just a resource, right? It's all about how you use it. And so if you're wasting time, that means you're getting absolute no return on it. It's like wasting money. What's wasted money? You're putting your money towards something that you get no return from. That's wasting, right? Well, yet same thing with your time. You guys heard the phrase, right? Time is money, right? Well, if you waste time, you're getting absolutely no return whatsoever for that time, right? And so you all know what you all know what examples of wasting time looks like. I probably don't need to go over that, but wasting time, spending time that's getting little return, maybe a little bit of instant gratification, maybe a little instant return, but it's not fulfilling. It's not ultimate gratification. It's not creating long-term amounts of time. It's just immediate gratification. Examples, of spending time. It could involve really anything that just gives you a little bit of return, or you can invest your time. And it's like, in investing money. Why do you invest money? To get more in return of it later, right? One of the best things you can do is create a business or invest your time in creating a business that can give you a lot more free time with money as well, right? And so investing time is doing things that will give you a lot more free time in the future. And so there's really 3 ways that you can use your time. And so your life right now, how it looks, the amount of money you have, the amount of success you may have achieved, the way you live is a result of how much time you've wasted, how much time you've spent, and how much time you've invested. And so if you take a look at your life right now, you got to be very real with yourself, okay? How much of your time are you investing? How much of your time are you wasting? How much of it's just being spent? Right? And so today we want to encourage you, well, let's change that, because here's the beauty of time. You control it, not other outside force. You get to decide what you do with your time every single day in and day out. And so it all starts, the first thing I want to cover with you guys, I'm going to show you how to create a winning schedule, okay? But it all starts with your beliefs about time. If you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, and if you haven't watched that training, you need to go and watch that training about the belief system, how if you want to change the results in your life, it all starts with your belief system, what you believe in. Because what you believe in will determine, what you see the potential, which will lead into the actions that you take, which will lead into the results. So if you want to change results, you got to change your beliefs. So if you want to change how you're using your time now, you need to change your beliefs about time. So these are some beliefs that you need to start adopting about time, about your time, okay, and time in general. The first belief you need to start adopting is planning your time is the most important thing you can do with your time. Planning your time, okay? Think about, when was the last time you actually planned your time, planned your schedule, planned what you're going to do for the day? Benjamin Franklin says, by failing to prepare, you're already preparing to fail. By failing to prepare, you're already preparing to fail. So by not preparing, you're still preparing, but you're preparing for failure, right? So by not planning your schedule, by not creating a schedule, by not planning your time, being intentional with your time, you're already destined to not accomplish your goals and dreams. And again, if you're in Primerica, if you're on the team, you're here because you want to see better in your life. You want to see change in your life. Right? Well, you need to start, planning your time a little bit better. Abraham Lincoln says about planning, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend 4 hours of it sharpening the axe. Right? And so, guys, I struggle with this early on because if you've learned the personality types, I'm an A-type personality, means action oriented. I just want to go, go, go. Planning, it was definitely not my area of expertise. I thought planning was boring. I'd rather go do it than just plan how to do it. But I had to learn, listen, you got to spend some time not doing and planning, right? So that, if you sharpen that axe for 4 hours, think about, prior to Primerica, I would have just grabbed the axe and started chopping. It probably would have taken me 6 hours, taking me, 6 hours or maybe 8 hours or 10 hours to chop down that tree. Or if I would have just spent a couple hours sharpening that axe, maybe in a couple, swings, that tree's down. Right. And so I had to learn, if I want to get further in life, it's not just about constantly doing and doing and doing. It's about taking some time to plan so my actions are more effective. Right. So you need to start planning your time. That needs to be a way of living, a way of being, a way of doing, planning your time. And so that's one of the first beliefs you need to start adopting. Another belief you need to begin adopting about time is don't believe in time management, believe in time leadership. Okay, I've always hated the word management, okay, or manager. Or manage, because I feel that's just, just kind of handling the situation that's been given to you and not really creating the situation or changing the situation. I prefer the word leader, leading, leadership, because that's creating, that's actually making change, that's being intentional. So don't just manage your time and accept, okay, well, this is what it is, and I'll manage, the time. No, lead it. Okay, well, what can you change? What can you get rid of? What can you alter? What can you do differently? And start leading your time. Create your time, the way to build that lifestyle that you want. So don't believe in time management, believe in time leadership. Okay, you've all heard the phrase time equals money, right? And obviously that's true. That's been around, for decades. But if you haven't really adopted the right beliefs about money, time equals money doesn't really, make a difference to you. So a good belief that you could start adopting is, instead of time equals money, which again is true, but you got to have the right beliefs about money. But what might be better for you is time equals lifestyle, right? Your lifestyle, how you use your time will equal the type of lifestyle that you have. right? And so start believing my time equals my lifestyle. Time is lifestyle. And so if you want to change your lifestyle, what do you got to start changing? You got to start changing your time. Okay. Another belief you need to start adopting: there is a time for everything. There is a time for everything. I heard a regional vice president once share, making over $500,000 a year, saying you can have it all as long as you're willing to do it all. And the beauty is you can do it all. There is a time for everything. You just aren't able to do it because you haven't, created a winning schedule. You haven't created, and again, the key word there is winning, not just a schedule, a winning schedule, a schedule that's going to get you to your goals, your dreams, get you to the income that you want to have, get you to develop the freedom of time and money that you want to build. And so there is a time for everything. Because if you don't believe, well, I don't have the time, well, then you're not going to make the effort to make. I don't have the time to exercise. I don't have the time to spend with certain types. I don't have time for the business, right? Well, guess what? Then you're not going to find the time. Okay, you can find the time because you are a leader of your time, right? Don't believe in time management, believe in time leadership. So there is a time for it. There is a time for you to go on appointments. There is a time for you to make some money, extra money on the side. There is a time for family. There's a time for you to spend with God, right? There is a time for your health. There's a time for everything. That's why you need to create a winning schedule. Another belief you need to adopt is you need to spend most of your time going after your goals and dreams. Think about this. Mediocrity, okay? Any mediocre results you've had in your life, any frustrations, any unfulfillment that you may have had is usually, if you really dig deep, it's usually a result of you spending time in areas that you don't want to, right? Or you're not being intentional with your time, so you're just kind of letting time fly by, right? Mediocrity, unfulfillment, frustrations usually are a result of that. So it's only logical to spend most of our time in the areas that bring us fulfillment, bring us joy, bring us excitement, bring us, value to our lives and our family's life. So how much of your time are you spending every day on your goals and dreams? Right? Not just to get by. You spend 8 hours a day at your job. Okay, that's just to get by. How much of that time outside of work are you spending your goals and dreams? Or are you just constantly spending it on things just to get by? And you wonder why you're feeling frustrated, why you're feeling like your life might not be going anywhere, why you feel stuck. Well, look at the things you're spending your time on. Are they things that is being wasted, time being wasted or spent? Or is it things on time that's being invested? Right? So again, it's only logical that most of your time, from the purpose of you waking up every single day is to go after your goals and dreams. So how much of your time are you spending that? Right? Even if it's just an hour a day, some of you guys got busy life, at least spending hour, 2, 3, 4 hours outside of, work hours, trust me, you'll start being more fulfilled. You'll start being more, filled with more joy, more peace and excitement and passion in your life because you're going after something, right? And believe, and I believe this is where it really starts to change, is adopting this belief, is that your time is extremely valuable. Your time is extremely valuable. Think about, a lot of people think that there's a scarcity of money in this world. And there isn't. Obviously, there's a lot of poverty and things like that. But there was a report, I forget which article, I think it was like Forbes or something like that, proving the point that there isn't a scarcity of money. I mean, just go outside and look how, abundance of money there is. Look at how many vehicles there are, how many buildings there are, how many houses there are, how many jobs there are. I mean, there is an unlimited amount of money. And this article talked about every day there's about $3 trillion of business being done every day. People purchasing groceries, food, gas, clothes, companies doing business with each other, people buying insurance, people doing investing, all that's about $3 trillion a day being done, exchanging hands. Basically there's $3 trillion of opportunity every single day for you to make some money. 3 trillion. And just to show, every day, 7 days a week, and just to show you how big a number that is, $3 trillion, for you to spend $3 trillion, okay, you would have to spend $1 million a day for 8,000 years. $1 million a day for 8,000 years to spend 3 trillion, to spend how much of opportunity there is every day. So the opportunity of you becoming a millionaire, a billionaire, is a fraction, a small percentage. You understand, a billion out of 3 trillion is like not even 1% of 3 trillion. Becoming a billionaire is not even 1% of the amount of money, of opportunity there is every single day. So there isn't a scarcity of money, but there is a scarcity of time, right? Think about, what the average person lives to, right? And so if you think about, 80, 90, whatever the age, I don't know the exact age, but your time is limited. So it is extremely valuable. When you understand, man, my time is limited. There is a scarcity of money but there is a scarcity of time. I need to use the time in the areas that I want, in the areas that are going to bring me the fulfillment, the areas that's going to bring me the success that I want to have, of what I want to achieve in life. So when you understand that your time is limited, you stop wasting time. When I first started, learning about becoming a better leader of my time, Todd Newkirk, my vice president, which you guys learned their story last week in our team meeting, right? He kind of helped me begin. A great way to begin to start valuing your time is start looking at your time, worth at $100 an hour. Now, understand, for some people that might be at the beginning, it was difficult for me to do that. Now, obviously, as you grow, like $100 an hour is like nothing, right? But when I was making only $8 an hour changing tires at Tire Barn, for someone to tell me, your time is worth $100 an hour. Now at Tire Barn, at your job, might be worth whatever it is that you get paid, 10, 15, 20, $30 an hour. Okay. But if you're a business owner, especially in Primerica, your time is worth $100 an hour. So think about, if your time was worth $100 an hour, how would you be using your time? Think about that, right? Think about, like in a company, at a job, right? Think about the people that only make $10 an hour. Really, their responsibilities might be minimal. But then what about the managers that get paid maybe $20 an hour? They use their time a little bit more efficient. They have a little bit more responsibility. What about the people that might hire executives that might make an average of $40, $50 an hour, right? I mean, they don't really handle the small, they're handling the things that are going to grow the company, get it better, right? Bring in more revenue, things like that. And then obviously the CEO that's making, hundreds of dollars an hour, right? Well, they're focused on the most important things, right? The CEO ain't handling the mundane, stuff that has to get done, but it's not really going to grow the company, right? The CEO is focused on the most possible important tasks. That's why they make the most money. People think that higher paid people have a lot more things to do. No, they actually have less things to do. They're just the most important things. So what if you look at your time worth $100 an hour? Okay. If that is what your time is worth, you start believing, my time's worth $100 an hour. What things, when things come up like, oh, I got to handle this situation, I got to go do this certain thing. Well, you're like, man, that's going to take 2 hours. That's going to cost me $200. Think about that. Is it worth me spending 2 hours doing this thing? It's going to cost me $200. So don't look at it like, oh, it's only 2 hours. Somebody, oh, it's only an hour, 2 hours. No, look at it. It's $200 right now. $200. If $200 is a lot of money for you, well, you'll probably not do that. If that's not enough, if you're like, well, $200 ain't nothing. Okay, well, start viewing your time at $200 an hour. So if you spend 2 hours that day, that's $400, right? You get to pick the number. I started out, at $100 an hour, and then obviously grew up from there. But so instead of looking at, it's just an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours of my time, start looking at the price, the amount of money it's costing you, right? And so you need to start valuing your time. And a great way to begin that is put a dollar amount to it. So when people invite you to do certain things, or when certain things get presented, you start approaching, okay, you start approaching a little bit different. You might start looking at, okay, instead of me maybe going to this place, is there a way that I can handle it online? Or can I possibly have someone else do it? right? Maybe a spouse or partner or friend or whatever it may be, right? Because it's going to be a waste of 2, 3, 4, 500 bucks, whatever that time frame is, right? Sometimes with parties, right? Nothing with going out and partying, but it doesn't mean that you got to party for like 6 hours. You got to, man, if I'm there for 6, 7, 8 hours, think about if you go out Friday or Saturday night, whatever it may be, and you go out starting at, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and you don't get home till like 3, 4 a.m. Okay, that's 6, 7, 8 hours. That's like a whole work day. You just wasted 800, 1,000, or spent, because you might have got a little bit of return, and maybe some gratification. But you got to look at, wow, that was about $1,000 of my time. How much of that often do you do it? Right, watching TV. You look at watching TV for an hour. Well, that was, if you value your time at $100, that was $100, just gone. Right, and then when you start looking at how often you do that, man, you no wonder you're broke, right? And so, believe your time is extremely valuable, and everything will change. And by believing that your time is valuable, you'll become more time conscious. Have you noticed, like, successful people, they constantly look at the clock, look at their watch, look at their phone for the time? Why? Because they're time conscious. They're like, okay, I've been here already 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Is there a way that we could wrap this up? You start becoming more efficient. You become more conscious of your time, so you start becoming more efficient with your time. Man, I've already been here. Man, this was an hour. This was 2 hours. This was 3 hours. Valuing your time, everything starts to change. All right. So it all starts with your beliefs. So start adopting these beliefs, and that'll help you start leading your time a little bit better. All right. And so let's go into creating the winning schedule. Now, again, if you haven't been taking some, you guys better be taking some notes on this stuff. Okay. This is some nuggets of wisdom here, some gold that I've learned from my own experience, and then from leaders. I mean, we're talking about 6, 7 figure year earners talking about the same thing. Okay. And so 2 things that you need to do before creating the winning schedule. So we're getting into creating a winning schedule, but 2 things that you need to do before you start working on creating a winning schedule. Okay. And again, I'm going to keep saying winning schedule, because I don't want you to just have a schedule to just get things done that are not fulfilling, not satisfying, not growing your income, not growing your business. No, we're creating a winning schedule. A schedule is going to get you to your goals, your dreams, going to grow your income, grow your business, and give you that fulfillment, that satisfaction, that growth, that excitement, that passion. Okay, so 2 things you need to do before. The first thing is you need to get clear on what you want. Okay, I mean, how are you going to create a schedule if well, what's the purpose? What am I going after? Right? So you got to first off know what it is that you want. Okay, and it doesn't have to be like, starting out with, you got it all figured out, like, 10 years down the road, 20 years. It doesn't. Just start with short-term stuff. Okay, if you're not licensed, we'll start working on that. Okay, well, how soon do you want to get licensed? Okay, if you want to come full time, all right, well, what schedule do you need to have part-time so that you can make enough money to start making a transition to full-time? If you're working on becoming a regional vice president, what schedule, right? And so think about short-term, obviously long-term goals helps. And that in itself is like its own training. I strongly recommend, I'm not going to train on that today, right, of how to create goals and stuff like that. But a book I will recommend is a book called Success is Not an Accident. The author's name right now escapes me, but Success is Not an Accident. Read that book. It talks about planning and planning out your life, right? It doesn't really talk about, the schedule. Talks a little bit about that, but it talks about planning your life. What is it that you want, your goals, your dreams? By the way, if y'all didn't know this, we have a book club on the team, right? We actually read this book a few months ago. All right. If you're not part of the book club, we meet every Saturday morning right before our 9 a.m. training. We meet at 8:15 every Saturday morning, and we're reading these kind of books. Okay, so if you're not part of the book club, you need to become part of the book club. Okay, but Success is Not an Accident. I strongly recommend that, and that'll help you get clear on what you want your goals to be. Start planning your life. Start being intentional with your goals, and start working towards those. So first thing you need to do for creating a winning schedule, get clear on what you want. It doesn't have to be extravagant, elegant. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's just, what is it that you want? You want an extra grand a month? Fine, let's create a schedule to do it. You want $5 grand a month? You want 10 grand a month? You want to get licensed? You want to get investment license? Whatever it is, you got to get clear on what you want. And then the second thing you need to do, because and again, this is from my personal experience, because sometimes you'll have a schedule, and it's you're still kind of frustrated, things aren't still working out. And then what I've come to realize is I didn't understand the season I was in my life at the time. So that's the second thing, is you need to understand the season that you're in your life right now. Understand it. So you need to really grasp where you're at. And again, just to kind of speak from my own experience, and what I mean by this, you see, when I started on the business, I was a high school student. I was still in high school, right? I was 18 years old, still living with mom and dad, not married, no kids. Okay, so I had a lot more time to invest. Now, I understand the season I was in. I was like, okay, well, I still got school I need to finish, but I still want to grow my business. So I had a job at the time, right, working at Tire Barn. So what I realized is, okay, I need to create a schedule that obviously allows me to get my school work done. I got my schedule with work and gives me some time to grow my business. So I had to make some changes, right, on things that, I was not getting me the stuff that I wanted, right? And so, I started investing, maybe some Saturdays, the days I didn't work during the week, I set a schedule of the days I'd get homework done, the days I'd spend a little bit more time in the office, right? And so I started creating it. And as I started getting more of what I wanted, I started changing my schedule. I started saying, okay, you know what? I'm entering now into another season where I'm about to graduate high school. This job's not where I want to be, okay? And if I want to grow my business, I need to invest a little bit more time in the business. So towards the end, I started November my senior year. So right around March, April, I decided to start cutting hours at my job, right? Start cutting days, where I, instead of working maybe 3, 4, 5 days a week, I was part time. I asked, if it could be cut down to like 2 days, 3 days, right? And so cutting that down a little bit so I can spend a little bit more time. And then by the time I graduate high school, I had left my job. I just graduated. Now I entered into a new season where it's like, okay, now it's time to really go at this thing 100%. Right. And I had no other, responsibility. So I'm going to fully focus on the business. And because I had, and my VP helped me create a winning schedule, I was in the office every day by 9 a.m., 6 days a week. I was doing that sometimes 7 days a week. Okay. Because I wanted to have massive amount of success very early period of time. And that's what I wanted. Right. Not everybody wants that. Some people are okay with gradual success. I wanted massive success at a short period of time. And so I knew I'd have to do a little bit more than what others might be willing to do. And that's what I wanted, right? Everybody wants different things, but I had a schedule to do that, right? And so, but then, I started changing. I started building a team, right? So now I was entering another season. Okay, now I need to start becoming more of into a leadership role and developer role. So I started to invest my time in other areas like leadership and getting better with people skills and things of that nature. And so I had a bunch of different seasons. And then I met Laura, right, in the business, my wife now. And so that was another season. Now I'm managing business. Now I'm a relationship as well. And then we started having children, right? And we went from having one son to 3 kids, right, in a span of like a year and a half. And so now I'm in a different season. Right, I became VP, and that was a different season. And so you're constantly different seasons. So your schedule, we were always intentional. I've been doing this for 8 years now, like with the schedule, right? That's how long I've been in business. I've constantly been intentional about my schedule, so that when my season changed, I might have to change my schedule for a set season. And that's the thing, it's just for a season. Life is all about seasons. You see, most people think life is like this stagnant thing. I got to do this thing. This is how it's going to be forever. No, life's about seasons. So you need to create the best schedule possible for the season that you're in. And then once you start entering another season, what's the best schedule possible for that season? Right? I have 3 kids that, my son just turned 2. So the season I feel that I'm in my life is I need to be investing a lot of time, because I've been doing a lot of research. My wife and I've been reading a lot in getting advice from a lot of parents, and the early child development is like the most important part of their life. So I feel, really there's only 3 things that I need to be focused on right now: time with God, time with my wife and kids, and time in the business. I don't really have other times to do other things. I was dedicated to other things, but now I'm in a different season, right? I want to be that father that's there present. I want to be that husband that's there present, not just constantly working all the time, right? And so, our time and seasons have changed. So what's the best? So the question you should ask yourself is, what is the best schedule possible for you to have in the season that you're in right now? So you gotta identify what season are you in. Okay. We all have different beliefs about the season that we're in. So you just gotta understand what season are you in and what's the best schedule possible for that. And then start creating the schedule. And so don't be afraid. So just a couple notes on that. Don't be afraid to test run a schedule. And if it's not working, change it. Okay. Usually you want to give yourself at least, I don't even know if 2 weeks is enough, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, right? Of once you feel like you've dedicated enough time on creating the schedule, well, the only way to know if it's going to work is you got to test run it. So run it. Don't just run it for a couple of days. Oh, it didn't work. Okay. Well, obviously the beginning of anything is always kind of funky. Okay. So give it a little bit more time. Give it about 3 weeks, give it about a month. And if you're like, it ain't working, okay, well, what do you need to change? What do you need to change? And you keep trial and erroring that thing until it's working, right? And so don't be afraid to test run it. Don't be afraid to change it. Okay, don't be afraid to change it as your seasons in life are changing. Okay, and so identify what you want, get clear on what you want, and understand the season that you're in. And now we can start working on creating a winning schedule, right? I hope you said winning with me, okay? Create a winning schedule. All right, so let's talk about now creating the winning schedule. The goal with creating a winning schedule is not just to create a schedule, it's to create a new way of living, right? The goal with the winning schedule is to, did I say winning? I meant living, okay? The goal with creating a winning schedule is to create a new way of living. It's a lifestyle you're creating. It's not just a schedule you follow, it's a way of living. That's what you're creating with a winning schedule. You're going to create a schedule that by following that schedule, you'll accomplish all your goals. So let's say if you got clear on what you want, hey, I do want to exercise. I want to have great health. I want to make X amount of income, or I want to do this. Okay, well, create a schedule that by following that schedule, you're able to achieve those things. So I want to have more time with parents. I want to have more time with siblings. I want to have more time with my kid, whatever it may be, right? Depending on the season that you're in life. I want more time in the business. Create a schedule that by just following it, you're going to hit the goals, right? And so I'm a firm believer that 6 days a week, 5 days, that whole Monday through Friday, guys, that's for workers. Nothing wrong with workers, right? Nothing wrong with employees. We need them as a society, okay? But you all are entrepreneurs. If you're on the team, you're an entrepreneur. You're an independent contractor with Primerica. You're a business owner. Okay, so 5 days a week, you're not an employee. You need to think like a business owner. I'm a firm believer that 6 days a week, you need to be going after your goals and dreams, minimum 6 days a week. And if you're trying to achieve, rapid change in your life, or you want to see massive change in a shorter period of time, then bump that up to 7 days a week. Okay, I've done 7 days a week. I did that probably my first year, 2 years in the business, because again, I wanted to get to vice president quickly. I wanted to have, I didn't want to have to rely on a job. I wanted absolute total freedom. Okay, I was willing to pay whatever price. And so again, but if long-term, again, because you're creating a new lifestyle, we go after our goals. Laura and I, we look at it 6 days a week. We're going after our goals and dreams, and we have 1 day of rest. Okay, 6 days a week, 1 day of rest. And what do I mean by 6 days a week? Well, 6 days a week, Monday for us is Monday through Saturday, right? It doesn't have to be that for you. Okay, but 6 days a week, we're going after our goals. So, Monday through Saturday, there's time being spent in the business. There's time being spent with the team. There's time being spent with clients. There's time being spent, getting things done to get closer to our goals and dreams. Okay, and then we have that 1 day of rest where obviously we don't do any of that. Just fully focus on each other, on the family, and all that good stuff. So you got to have, as an entrepreneur, a mindset of an hours off mindset, not days off mindset, right? It's not like, oh, I had a bad day, I'm not going to do anything today. No, okay, you're not going to let the day go to waste. Give yourself maybe 30 minutes, an hour, okay, hour and a half to decompress, rewind, whatever, but then you're going after your goals. Okay. When you have that room, you start valuing your time more. When things come up, it's like, I'm not even gonna let it phase me, because I'm not gonna get that hour, 2 3 hours I spend moaning and growing and whatever it may be. It's not gonna, if I can't change the situation, well then I can control how I feel. I can't control outside circumstances, but I can control what I do with that situation, how I feel about it, right? You can't control it. And so as you start valuing your time more, you have an hours off mindset. Hey, I need an hour or two to just decompress, rewind. Okay. And then after that, boom, you're going after that. Right. So if work was tough today, all right, take 30 minutes, treat yourself to some 30 minutes, relax, just total silence, whatever it may be. Put an alarm. If you got to take a nap, put an alarm. And then you get up and now it's game time. Let's go. Right. But 6 days a week, it's a way of living. We've had that lifestyle, like, hey, until we get to where we want to be, hey, 6 days a week is going to be invested. And again, we've had 6 days a week where we do 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We've done 8 to 5. We've done, but it doesn't matter what schedule. But at least every day we're spending time working on our goals and dreams 6 days a week, and then we take that one day of rest. I'm a firm believer, if you want to achieve your dream life, you gotta be willing to invest 6 days a week into your goals and dreams. Again, it's not all day, every day, right? It can be for a short period of time if you want it to be. It's just a couple hours, okay? A couple hours every single day, and you don't take days off. You take hours off, right? Until you get to where you want to be. That's the whole idea, right? It's just for a season. It's not forever, right? Your schedule, your winning schedule, needs to include everything from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. Everything. Like, you need to have set times for everything. The key is to be systems oriented. Okay, like you should have set systems for everything in your life. Like set times. For 6 days a week, what time are you waking up? Like it should be set 6 days a week, because you're going after your goals and dreams 6 days a week. Okay, what time are you waking up? It should be the same time every day, at least 6 days a week. What time are you waking up? What time are you going to sleep 6 days a week? Right? What time are you doing that? What's your bedtime? You need to have that. Just those two things, that's a difference maker right there. Okay. Because again, when you have set times for everything, you can now plan your life, right? Let's say you're hanging out with people in the afternoon, evening, but you got to set time. Hey, by 10 or 11 o'clock, whatever the time is, I got to be in bed. Hey, your friends might stay out till 2, 3 a.m., but you're like, hey, it was fun hanging out with y'all, but I got to get going, right? Because tomorrow, I got to wake up at X time, and I have, and I'm going to get to that morning routine here in a little bit. But you got to have systems for everything. You almost got to be like Sheldon. If you've ever watched The Big Bang Theory, okay, you should know who Sheldon is. And if you've never watched that show, Sheldon is like this in the personality types. He's an S-type personality to the 10th power, like structure, order, everything. Like literally, Sheldon is the type of person that like every Tuesday or every Wednesday was, like Chinese food night, or Fridays were laundry night or something like that. And he didn't alter it. And if something changed, he was like, but it's Chinese night. Like, why are we eating like Mexican? Now that was, why are we eating Mexican, right? Now that was a little bit excessive. Okay. Like obviously it was a show to make it funny, but you got to borderline be something like that. Like you should have systems on, okay, well, what times are you waking up? What times are you going to sleep? What days are you getting certain things done? Like when I was part-time and still had a job and was going to school, I had days that were my Primerica days. I had like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesdays, Thursdays. I can't exactly remember, but I had days like these days are my Primerica days. So after school, I didn't have work, by set time, by Tuesdays at 4, I was in the office. Tuesdays at 5, I was in the office. So I knew, because it was Primerica Day, I knew Monday night I had to prepare, because to save me time, I had to prepare things at night. So I literally went to school and had my change of clothes in the car. So when I got to the office, I'd change in the bathroom. I'd be ready to go. It'd be like 4:30. School finished around 3. It'd be like 4 o'clock, and I'm already ready to go, right? And so you gotta be like, hey, today's Primerica Day. Today's the day I'm investing in my business. Today is get this thing done, right? Day, whatever it may be. But you gotta have systems for everything. From this day, these days I handle this. These times I handle this, right? So systems for daily stuff, systems for weekly stuff. Like, you shouldn't be having to cook every single day. Maybe you have, okay, Sundays or whatever, Saturdays, these are the times I cook for a couple days, right? To save you more time, right? You got to have, again, you can create it the way you want to create it, but you got to be systems oriented. What's the system that you're going to run every single day with your schedule? So set times for everything. Set times when you're so like, let's say you're like, you know what, I'm gonna do Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays Primerica or whatever it may be. Okay, let's say you do that. You want to be on a fast track to come full time and leave your job, dedicating 3-4 days a week to your business. Not full days, but after work, 3-4 days a week. Man, you're gonna be able to quit that job very, very quickly. So let's say you do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Well, when you know that those are your time, let's say it's 5 to 9. You work 8 to 5, 5 to 9. Well, let's say those are days. Well, then Sunday night, you got to prepare your clothes for Primerica, right? You got to take your laptop with you, and then right after work, you come to the office. And if hey, I won't be able to prepare food for the kids, the family, whatever. Okay, well. Then maybe Sunday night I need to prepare something for Monday for everybody else or whatever it may be, right? When you have those set times, you can be more effective with your time, right? You can plan things out a little bit better. You can delegate certain things to other people to help you accomplish those things. When you don't have set times, nothing ever works out. Oh, I was going to go to Primerica, but I forgot that I didn't do this thing at home, so I got to go get that taken care of. And well, if you knew that Mondays were your Primerica day, well, then you would have got that done on another day, right? Or let's say something comes up. Hey, can you take me here? Or can you do this? Or can you handle that? Nope, I'm sorry. Mondays are Primerica day. I can handle it tomorrow, Tuesday, right? You don't let anything deter you from that time. Kind of like Shelly. He didn't let any. He was like, but today is Chinese food night. Like we're not having it. Like we're gonna make this happen. Today's Primerica day. I'm not letting anything else determine, unless it's a family emergency, life or death situation, like it'll get handled after my 5 to 9 at Primerica, right? There's a phrase in speakers use in Primerica, 9 to 5 is the time, for at your job. 9 to 5 is just to kind of handle the bills, but your 5 to 9 is to build your dream life. Right, 9 to 5, doing your job, handling the bills, but 5 to 9, that's the time you're building your dream life, right? And so be systems oriented, have set times for everything. Okay, things shouldn't be getting done randomly. Okay, if you got things piling up at home, you got laundry piling, it's because you don't have a set system when that's getting done. You should know, hey. Mondays after my Primerica day, I put the stuff in the washer and I'm getting things. Like you should have a set system. Like Mondays is this, Tuesdays is this. So things don't pile up. You don't wait till they pile up and then you're getting it done, right? You have systems for everything, right? Same thing for the time in your business. Systems for, okay, Mondays, 5 to 6, I'm doing these calls. Or let's say Mondays, your focus is to be on appointment. So then that means you're spending the rest of the week making calls and you're booking people for Mondays. Instead of just saying, hey, when can you meet? You could be more intentional. Hey, listen, I only can do Mondays or Wednesdays after 5 o'clock. What's your schedule look like for this Monday? And it can help the client think a little bit better. Like, oh yeah, I get off at 6. Okay, I could be there at 6:30. Yeah, again, having set times for everything just makes everything easier, makes everything more efficient. You don't even have to think about it and you're winning, right? So be systems oriented. Set times for everything. And the most important thing is your morning routine. Because how you start your day will determine how your day goes. Think about have you ever had a day where you just woke up late, you're rushing to get to work, and because your brain hasn't kind of caught up, you kind of made some mistakes at work, uh, kind of maybe in a bad mood, and then you go home and you're kind of done with the day, and it's only like 5 o'clock. You understand? 5 o'clock is not the end of the day. Most of you guys probably don't go to sleep. Most people don't go to sleep till like 10, 11, midnight. That's 7 hours from 5 to midnight that you can get stuff done, right? So it's all about how you start your day. And so here's another book I'm gonna recommend. You should read Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Now he has different versions of Miracle Morning, like for CEOs, business owners, salespeople, for moms, children, teenagers. Just read the general Miracle Morning book. Okay, it's like got a blue cover, by Hal Elrod. Okay, and he talks about how your morning routine really, your morning routine, it will set the difference of how your day will go, and how your day goes and what you get done. Again, what you do with your time determines the lifestyle that you have. So it all starts with how you start your day. So the first thing you should create when you're creating your winning schedule is, what is your morning routine going to look like? And it should be the same. Okay. Some days might look a little bit different in the afternoons and stuff like that. Some days you got to get certain things done. Maybe days are kids and stuff like that. But morning routine should be the same. Your morning routine should absolutely be the same. So again, starting with what's the set time you're going to wake up, regardless of what time you go to bed. So if you decide to stay out late, that's your own fault. You got to get up. And that's another thing you need to understand is what you do with your time does affect your future time. So if you stay up late watching TV, you stay up late going out, you stay up late, understand that's going to affect the next day. Most people are only focused on the now. Well, your now is a result of your past, and your now will determine what your future looks like. So you're never really in the now. You understand? Are you getting this? Okay, so if you're focused on the now, you're really focused on something that doesn't really exist. Your now is a result of what your past, what it was. Like if you feel tired today, is because you went to bed yesterday late, right? Or if you feel kind of sluggish, just because you probably ate that wrong. Or if you're not feeling good, it's a result of what you did yesterday and the day before and years before, right? So your now is just a result of your past, and then what you do today will affect tomorrow. So you're never in the now, but people are focused all constantly on the now. So, oh, right now I feel like watching TV. Right now I feel like this. Right now I feel like that. And so they're never getting anywhere. So when you realize what I'm doing now is literally determining what my future is going to look like. So if you want a brighter future, what are you doing with your time right now? Not what you're going to do tomorrow, because what you do tomorrow is not going to affect tomorrow. It's what you do today. So if you want tomorrow to look amazing, what are you going to do today to guarantee that? What are you going to plan? What are you going to time you're going to wake up? What morning routine are you going to create? So you need to have a set time so that hey, if I'm waking up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., whatever the time is, and I strongly suggest, how Elrod usually suggests is you should be waking up at least 2, maybe 3 hours before your set time to go into work. So if your set time to go in at 8, you should be waking up at 5 a.m. At least 6 a.m., 5 a.m. That will give you plenty of time to get ready, to have, like your morning should not be rushed. Your mornings should be peaceful. Your morning should be focused on the things that are going to take your life to the next level. And so having, 30 minutes to yourself. Think about the moment you go to work, you're giving your time, your energy to coworkers, to your bosses, to customers. Then you go home, you're giving your time to family, your kids. Well, how are you going to get recharged? Going to sleep, you're not giving time to yourself. Sleeping is not giving time to yourself because you're sleeping. Giving time to yourself is spending some alone time. You should have time alone every single morning, even if it's just 15, 30 minutes. But the best way to do that is to wake up at least. Now, obviously, when I first heard that, I'm like, man, 2 to 3 hours before I go to work, like, my goodness. Because it takes the brain about 2 to 3 hours to actually be fully engaged. So, I mean, it was tough at first. So start little, maybe do whatever time you wake up now, start waking up maybe an hour earlier than that, or maybe 30 minutes earlier than that. If you're not doing 2 to 3 hours before you got to go into work right now. Okay. And again, if you're like, so let's say you go in at 8, you're like, well, that means I got to wake up at 5. Well, my goodness, like I go to bed at midnight. Well, change that. To wake up at 5, what time do you need to go to sleep? 7 hours of sleep. Maybe if you want to get 8, well, you decide how many hours of sleep you want to get. Okay, I believe 7 is enough. There's actually been research that 6 hours is sufficient for an adult, without having any negative, things. But so and I've heard 8 hours is the standard. So I usually like to pick right in the middle, 7. So 7 hours. So if you got to wake up at 5 to get 7 hours of sleep, well, you need to be asleep by 10, right? Well, how can you go to bed by 10? And then that's where you start work. Okay, if I want to wake up at 5 because I go in at 8, what do I got to do to get in bed by 10? What schedule needs to be in place to make that happen? And this is creating a winning schedule. Now, with your morning routine, you might not think it might be exciting to wake up at 5, 6 a.m. if you're not doing that right now. It's because you don't have an exciting morning routine. You need to have an exciting and an empowering morning routine that you're fired up to get out of bed. Okay. So you need to have an exciting morning routine that gets you fired up to get out of bed, and you need to have an empowering morning routine that gets you in the right mindset for the day. So what he suggests in his book is one of the first things you should do when you wake up is, there's a concept of making your bed, because now you feel I've already accomplished one thing for the day, so I can accomplish more. It's starting a habit of accomplishing things, getting things done by making your bed first thing in the morning, making your bed, drinking water, because you haven't drank water if you slept 7 hours, 8 hours, your body hasn't received water for that long, about a third of the day. So drink water. Don't drink coffee first. Drink water. There's nothing wrong with drinking coffee, but drink some water first. Drink a whole glass of water. When you wake up, that'll wake up your body, right? Brush your teeth. And then, begin with whatever morning routine you have. And he suggests in his book called Life Savers. Savers, SAVERS stands for an acronym. I'm just going to quickly go through the acronym. I'm not going to teach you how to do all this today for the sake of time, but read this book. But as a matter of fact, going back to the book club, this is the book we're reading this month of May. Okay, we're reading this, and it's not a really big book. It's a very small book. Okay, so if you want to be part of that book club, we talk about this stuff, right? But Life Savers, this is the book that we're reading this month, or Miracle Morning is what we're reading. Life Savers is what he basically talks about in the book. The S in Savers stands for silence. So having a moment of silence, for people that, are believers, had in a relationship with God. And usually that's a good time, for prayer, right? Having a moment of silence. Meditation there. Affirmations is the A in Savers. Affirmations. You should have affirmations. Visualization, visualizing what it is that you want, what it is that you're going to become, or who it is that you are, and visualizing your future. Okay, because then your brain will see your reality. And if you're constantly visualizing, your brain will think that's your reality, and your brain will always make your reality happen. So if you're constantly visualizing, oh, I'm a six-figure earner, I make 100 grand, I make 200 grand, whatever it is, and then your brain sees your bank account ain't at those numbers. Guess what? Your brain's gonna start thinking of ideas to make that, because that's when your brain thinks, if your income right now was cut in half, you're used to a certain amount of income, your brain's gonna freak out, right? If you're used to making $4 grand a month and your income drops down to $2 grand, you're freaking out right now thinking about that, right? Because your brain is used to a set standard, and you're going to find ways to make up that difference. So to take your life to the next level, your reason you've been stuck at that level for a while is because that's what your brain thinks you're supposed to be, because you haven't visualized where you want to be. You haven't visualized, right? And so that's a whole nother training in itself. But the book talks about that. Visualization is the V in Savers. E in Savers is exercise, taking some moment to exercise, even if it's just 10, 15 minutes a day, even if it's just stretching, doing something physical to get the body moving. And then the R in Savers is reading, taking a little bit of time to read. And then the S in Savers is scribing, writing. Now, he's saying you don't have to do all these things, but doing 1, 2, 3 of these, but he actually has a routine where you can do all of this and not including the exercise. You could do the silence, the affirmations, visualizations, reading, and scribing in he has like a 6-minute routine where he just does 1 minute of each. So it doesn't have to be hours. It could be 15 minutes, 20 minutes where you're getting yourself in the right mindset. You do a little bit of exercise and then you're ready to go, right? And so your morning routine is everything. So one of the first things you should, when you're creating the winning schedule, is figure out, okay, what time do you need to start waking up? And then start working your way backwards from that. Okay, what time do you need to start waking up? And in order to make that happen, what time do you need to be in bed by? In order to make that happen, what needs to happen? What needs to happen? You keep doing that too, and you keep figuring out until you got that down to a T. And then what is going to be your exciting morning schedule? Okay, if you're not fired up about exercising, well, then maybe that's not what you do. Maybe you just, or figure out a type of exercise you are fired up about. Maybe it's yoga. Maybe it's running. It doesn't have to be pretty perfect. It just has to be something that you're fired up about. Okay. Don't read books that you're not fired up about. Read what you're fired up about. If you're not a reader, if you're an audio person, okay, while you exercise, listen, right? What you figure out what works best for you. If you like food, like me, okay. What gets me fired up is knowing that, creating a breakfast that I want, right? Or spending some time with God, whatever it may be that gets you fired up, you got to create that. You need an exciting and empowering morning routine. All right, guys. And so this is how you create that winning schedule. All right. And so lastly, to start wrapping things up here, is you need to become time efficient. All right. So I just gave you tips on how to create the winning schedule. Start with the morning routine, work your way backwards, use all those keys I told you, be systems oriented, have set times for everything, day in, day out, go after 6 days a week. But now let's talk about how to become more time efficient. Because when you're creating this, you're going to start questioning, well, man, where am I going to find to do all these things? Where am I going to find the time? And remember, there is a time for everything. You got to have that belief. There is a time for everything. You just got to find ways to save time. Okay, find ways to save time. So here's a couple of tips for you all to become more time efficient. So first thing is just asking yourself questions. So first I'll ask yourself, well, how can you save time in the morning? How can you save some time in the morning? If your goal is, I want to exercise in the morning before I go to work. Hey, I want to do a little bit of reading. I want to do whatever it may be, right? Well, then how can you save time? Maybe you need to prep the night before. Maybe the night before you need to have your clothes ready for work. Maybe instead of getting your clothes ready in the morning, picking it out, because that takes time, you have your clothes ready for work, right? You have your clothes ready for the office. Let's say if tomorrow is your Primerica day, you have your clothes ready for the office, right? And you take it with you. You have your clothes ready for your workout, so you don't have to pick, you have to look for your workout. You could have your workout clothes right next to your bed. So as soon as you wake up, there's your shirt, there's your shorts, there's your whatever you're using, and your shoes, you're ready to go, right? Maybe having the same breakfast. Maybe there's a breakfast that you absolutely love, and maybe you have that so that you can kind of cook it all at once for a couple of days, so you don't have to worry about cooking breakfast or going out to grab unhealthy breakfasts, right? Maybe prepping your lunch, whatever. Maybe you have a certain day where you cook breakfast and lunch for a couple of days, right? For maybe half the week. Maybe Sundays and Wednesdays, Sundays you handle cooking for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Wednesdays you're handling, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you save time in the morning. So you don't have to make breakfast. You can just kind of, maybe you freeze it and you reheat it. We've done like breakfast burritos where, we make a bunch of it and then we freeze it. So all we got to do is when we wake up, we just turn on the oven, put it in there, heats up. And while we're getting ready, it's heating up. And so by the time we're done getting ready, we're eating that. We're ready to go. Right? Figuring out times of how can you save time in the morning. So what evening routine can you have so that those stuff that take up time, like making food, like getting your clothes, maybe becoming a little bit more efficient in your shower. Maybe you're spending too much time in the shower. Maybe you have an alarm that says, 10 minutes, because obviously you could lose track and there's no watch or anything. So put an alarm for 10 minutes or 15. I mean, if you really think about it, you don't need that long to like really get yourself cleaned up, right? And so whatever time frame, put an alarm. Find ways to become more time efficient. So ask yourself, how can you save time in the morning? What about while you're driving? Think about how often you drive. You drive 30 minutes to work, to and from work. That's about an hour a day. What can you be listening to while you drive? Guys, we created as a new schedule. You guys know Mondays, we got the Primerica live broadcast. Tuesdays, we're doing the Zoom recording. Wednesdays, they got the Training for Champions. Thursdays, iced tea sessions, right? Monday through Thursday, we have training every day that you could just listen to while you're driving in your car because it's on the Primerica app or it's on the Zoom recording, right? So it doesn't have to take like additional time outside of work. It could be, while you're driving. What are you doing while you're driving to learn, get better, right? Turn your car into a mobile university. Maybe this is where you follow our schedule of those Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, of those different trains. They're usually only about 30 minutes an hour. You could be listening while you drive. Maybe you make that a goal I set a goal for a time period that until I become a vice president, I'm not going to listen to music. I'm not going to listen to any of that, anything. Anytime I'm driving, I'm listening to something that's going to get me better, get me motivated, get me going, get me more efficient, anything like that, right? So while you drive, what do you do during your breaks? Maybe you get multiple breaks. What about your lunch break? What are you doing during your lunch break, right? To work on your goals and dreams, to make that stuff a reality. What are you doing? What do you do after work, right? Maybe are there things that you can delegate? You don't have to do it all. You have kids that can help. Wash, maybe, I remember growing up, we had, Mondays I had to do the dishes, Tuesdays my brother, Wednesdays my sister, Thursdays my mom, Fridays my dad. It was, we just knew if it was that day, so set schedule systems for the family too, right? Can you delegate certain things that can free up time, right? Maybe you need to hire some people to handle certain things. Right. And again, that's a whole nother training in itself, how to delegate. But what can you do after work to become more time efficient? What can you save time? Best way to save time is to delegate certain things. The key, guys, is systems for everything. Set times for everything. So when Monday at 5, I'm doing this. Monday at 6, I'm doing this. Tuesdays at 8, at 6 a.m., I'm doing this. At 10 a.m., I'm doing it. You got set systems for everything. System, schedule. Change your schedule and you will change your life, guys. All right. And so to wrap things up here, we're going to go over some recognition and some announcements. And so, man, that was an incredible training, wasn't it, guys? And so please post your feedback, okay, on our Telegram group chat, okay, on our team group chat. Please post that on the Telegram, your feedback. If you start creating a schedule, share that, okay? Because there's probably some teammates that are in a similar boat as you that you guys could share ideas, okay? So let's get some conversations going there on our group chat. So I want to start with some recognition. And I'm super proud of so far. These are May recognition. So far in the first 2 weeks, right? Because we didn't start May till May 4th. So in the first 2 weeks, we still got 2 weeks, guys. We still got 2 weeks left in the month. So if you haven't done any numbers yet this month, guys, you can change that. Okay, you can still get promoted to senior rep, district, division leader. It can still happen this month. And so I want to recognize a couple individuals. The first individual I want to recognize is Dennis Smith, guys, one of our newest associates. He's actually scheduled his exam for this week. So be praying for him to take his exam. But guys, in the first 2 weeks of the month, he helped one new life insurance client, one new investment client, and that client was himself. And so, guys, the best client you can help is yourself. First of all, I want to emphasize the best client you can help is yourself. Why are you going to help somebody else get financially protected and financially independent when you can help yourself first, right? You got to help yourself first to help others. And so, guys, I just kind of want to share Dennis, a 25-year-old automotive service technician, is now protected $500,000, okay, and will have $500,000 in 30 years with his monthly investment, assuming he never increases that, which he will. So Dennis is a future millionaire by just helping himself with his own financial program. His family's going to be taken care of. So good job, Dennis. The next person I want to recognize is Dulce. Dulce Hernandez, guys, helped one client set up 2 new investment accounts, a short-term investment, right, and a Roth IRA, which grows tax-free. Guys, with the amount of money that the client is investing on a monthly basis, the beauty of Primerica, guys, people can open up investments with us with as little as $25 a month. And that $25 a month, guys, in 30 years is worth over $300,000. Okay, so don't neglect anybody that only wants to invest 25 bucks a month. You're making them $300,000 richer. Okay, but Dulce helped one client open up 2 new accounts. Guys, in 30 years, with how much she's investing, she's going to have $1.5 million. So good job, Dulce. We are making an impact in people's lives. She just made, that's another future $1 million client, guys. Ayo Deji and Adedayo Olao Sabikan, guys, they in the computer did a typo on their last name, AY and Grace, so I apologize on that. There should be an O after the A there. Guys, these are a Nigerian power couple, AY, we call him AY, he's already licensed. His wife, Grace, we call her Grace, she actually is about to get licensed. She's gonna take also her exam this week, so be praying for them also. But guys, they helped one family set up 3 new investment accounts. Now, last month they set up their life insurance plan, so she's taking care of. She's a 30-year-old woman, and so she's taking care of, her family's taking care of. But then we helped her set up 3 investment accounts. One was for a rollover. She had an IRA at another company that wasn't even, it was at a stable value fund, making 0.5% a year. Okay, we moved it over into a stock mutual fund that over the last 12 months has made over 80% return. So we rolled that over. She's starting a monthly investment in her Roth. And guys, in 30 years with her, she started a small monthly investment of 30 bucks a month. In 30 years, guys, that's going to be worth $500,000. 30 years, $500,000. And again, she's just starting with that. She's going to obviously increase it as her income grows. But guys, who's helping these type of, who's talking to people about investing, 25, 50, 100 bucks a month, right? People are becoming millionaires because of the appointments that we're setting with them. So if you haven't booked appointments, guys, I want to challenge you, book some appointments. People need you. You are making them $500,000, $300,000, $1 million richer by just simply meeting with them. So make sure, so good job, AY and Grace. You guys are making an impact in the Nigerian community. I'm excited to see what you guys are doing. And then Lantier Drake, guys, he's actually one of our newest associates. He just got involved on the team a week ago. I think it's been about a week now. But Lantier actually was a client first. Loved what we did. And through the financial needs analysis, realized, man, to hit these goals that I have, he's got some big goals, guys. He's a 28-year-old. A single guy with big ambition, big drive, and very professional. And so he's got some big goals, and he knows the income he's making his job's never going to get them, there, or at least in the time that he wants to get there. So he got started with this part-time, helped himself set up 2 investment accounts, guys, for short-term and long-term. Guys, with the amount of money he's investing, he's going to have $6 million in 30 years. And he's only 28. So before the tax-free, age of 59 and a half, he's going to be worth, he's a future multi-millionaire. $6 million Lantier is going to have in 30 years if he just keeps investing with no increases, okay? Which Lantier plans on increasing that. So good job, Lantier, on making that happen. And then last but certainly not least is Ada Gamboa. Guys, she's one of our licensed agents out of Frankfort, Indiana. Okay, I think Ada and I, we live in such a new era, digital age. I think Ada and I have only met maybe physically twice. She's been in the team now about 6 months or so. Just doing a fantastic job. She's going to take over the whole Lafayette, Frankfort, Indiana area, helping focused on the Latino community, changing lives, guys. In the last week, she helped establish 2 investment accounts. One was for herself, her Roth IRA, and the other was for her friend. And so Ada is going to have $1 million. She only needs $1 million to retire, guys. We did her analysis with the amount of income she wants to have. She only needs $1 million. She has a current 401k plan. She's contributing to that. She started a Roth, and guys, she'll have $1 million in 19 years. So before she's even by the time she's 55. Sorry, Ada, I know I probably just said your age there, but by the time she's 55, she's going to be a millionaire. Guys, I mean, that's just incredible. The lives we're changing. That's only in 19 years. And then her friend, she shared her friend. This is why you guys the best client to help is yourself, because then she shared her friend. Hey, listen, I'm gonna have $1 million by the time I'm 55. Her friend was like, I want to know more about that program. We met with the friend. with the amount of income she needs and where she's at right now, she needs to have 1.4 million in order to retire. And she wants to do it also by 55. And so she needs 1.4 million in 18 years. And so we gave her the amount. She just has to max out the Roth of doing 6,000 a year. That's the max contribution to the Roth. If she just does that, she'll have her 1.4 million in 18 years with how much she's starting with now. And so, guys, look at the impact we are having. We could be, now this is incredible, a change we're making in people's lives, but we could be doing better. We could be doing more. There's a lot of us that maybe haven't made an impact in someone's life this month. I want to challenge, let's all make at least one impact in at least one client's life this month, one new associate. So here's where we're at as a team. We're at 4 recruits for the month. Obviously, we need to get that in the double digits. We've issued 1.2, almost $1.3 million of life insurance coverage. That's about $4,000 in premium we've collected as a team. We've set up 21 new investment accounts. We've done about 55,000 in investments. So, and again, just in the first 2 weeks, and usually the first 2 weeks is about not even half of the month's production. It's usually only about maybe 20% of the month's production because most people kick in gear the last 2 weeks. I'm excited to see where we end up in the month of May. So congratulations, guys. Do a couple of shout outs to these guys on Telegram for what they've done so far this month. And then just to wrap up with a couple announcements, guys, Magnify Momentum May, there's a lot of incentives for the month. I'm not going to go over the incentives. You can go on primericaonline.com or on the Primerica app on the homepage. Just look for Magnify Momentum May and you'll see the incentives for the month. They got bonus. If you're brand new, they got bonuses for you, an unlimited bonus you can earn. We're able to recruit first responders like nurses, doctors, EMTs, police officers for $49 this month. They can get started with Primerica and get the licensing fees taken care of. Okay, they got bonus points for the trip. We got a trip to Marco Island, Florida, all kinds of things, guys. Go after, look for these incentives and really go after it this month. But I do want to cover some important announcements. The first one is June 5th. Put that in your calendar. Primerica is doing what they call an op meeting, an opportunity meeting. This is a chance for you to invite people to come learn more about Primerica, see our business, see our services, see who we are. So who should you invite to this? You should invite friends, family, clients, teammates, agents, everybody you should be inviting to this meeting. Now, it is a 3-hour meeting. They don't have to, plug into the whole thing, but have them at least watch the first hour. We've been told that the first hour is going to be, the first hour and the last hour is going to be kind of like the most critical time. So, start inviting people. It's actually going to be on YouTube. We'll get that link as soon as we get that, but there's going to be an all-star speaker lineup, 6-7-figure earners, guys talking, sharing about their stories, sharing about our crusade, our mission, our movement. We're possibly thinking of maybe doing something at the office for the first hour where we can have maybe some physical presence. We still haven't figured that out yet, so stay tuned for that. But June 5th, put that in your calendars. And let's make that happen. And then July 17th, guys, it's a Saturday. That's our next business training school. That's the next big event that we will be attending. If you're not familiar with our business training schools, guys, these are a chance for you to learn from giants in Primerica, people making 100, 200, $500,000, $1 million a year in the business. People have been doing this 10, 20, 30 years, and you get to spend about 6-7 hours with these people learning about how to get to their level in half the time, because they're going to give you all the lessons that they've learned, right? Smart person learns from their own mistakes, but a wise person learns from other people's mistakes. And there's been people that have been doing this 10, 20, 30 years that got it figured out. You don't have to go through all the mistakes, you could get to their income level in half the time. And so spending one afternoon, one morning, early afternoon, it's usually Saturday, 8 a.m. to about 2 p.m. It's going to be here local in Anderson. You'd be crazy not to go to business training school if you're trying to see success here in Primerica. If you're serious about developing a business, you need to be there. You need to get your teammates there. It's going to be July 17th. Tickets are only $25 to attend this event, and they're only good till May 30th. So make sure you get registered for that. There is a link, and for that, you can text me. I'll get that out to you. And so we have a goal, guys, of becoming a $100,000 team, becoming ring wearers, guys. That's just a level of prestige, a level of accomplishments, a milestone as a team we can accomplish. So anytime we show up to any big event, anytime there's any meetings, any trainings, we're showing up as a $100,000 team. That's now we're entering into the main, for you guys to understand, that's like us going from junior varsity into varsity, right? JV never really gets taken seriously, but varsity, that's all they talk about, right? That's really where the competition is, where the growth starts to happen. And so our goal is to become a $100,000 team by becoming six-figure earners by July 17th. Guys, we're very close to making that happen. And so we launched this May 1st. Our goal is to do by between May 1st and July 15th, which is 77 days, to do 50 recruits, 50,000 in premium, set up 75 new investment accounts. So we're about 10% of the way there with what we've done so far. We've done 4 recruits. We've done about 4,000 premium. We've done 21 new investment accounts. So we're about 10% of the way there, guys. But we need to crank things in gear. And again, how we'll do it is we're going to focus on getting everybody promoted. Okay, we need 14 people to step up and go for their senior rep promotion, right? All you got to do is 1 recruit and 1 life insurance client. You get a 35% contract and you get a $300 field training bonus if you're in your first 90 days with us. Okay, so 14, who on the team wants to become a senior rep? We need 7 people that says, I want more. I want to go to district leader. What's district leader? You only got to do 3 recruits, 3,000 in premium in 1 month. Get it done in May. You got 2 weeks left. You could get that done. Absolutely. You get a 50% contract. So double payable rep. And if you're still in your first 90 days, you get a $900 field training bonus. And we need 3 people, okay, to step up. I'm calling out 2 of those 3, Dulce Hernandez and Carmen Dominguez. We're expecting you ladies to be division leaders. The third, we don't know who the third is going to be, okay? But that's 5 by 5,000 in a month. That's a 60% contract. You're only 2 steps away from becoming a regional vice president. Guys, if 14 people get promoted senior reps, 7 to district, 3 to division, that will result in us becoming a $100,000 team. We'll have the most promotions at the big event. And guys, at this big event, they do recognize you get licensed, your promotions, you will get recognized in front of hundreds of people for your accomplishments in May and June. And so we're very excited. We're going to fully immerse ourselves in making this happen. And so we're throwing additional incentives on top of that. So if you become a senior rep, in May or June or first 2 weeks of July, all you got to do is 1 by 1. Or if you're already a senior rep or above, you just got to do 1 by 1,000. If you do 1 by 1,000, we're going to give you a webcam ring light to help you with your Zoom meetings. You can literally hook it up to your webcam, look a lot more professional, better lighting for your Zoom meetings. If you become a district leader, you get the ring light and you get wireless earbuds with a charger and a power bank. And it's got Primerica there on there. I don't have them, so I don't know the quality of it, but for the amount of money that they're charging, I'm pretty sure they're like probably better than AirPods. Okay. So become a district leader. You'll have, wireless earbuds to make your calls, do your meetings, right? You got the webcam ring light. And then anybody that becomes a division leader, you get the ring light, you get the earbuds, the power bank, the charger, and you get a brand new iPad. All right, guys. And once we hit 10 by 10,000 this month, we're already about halfway there. We're going to do a team dinner for anyone that helped contribute to do that as well. Okay. So focus on getting promoted, focus on taking your schedule to the next level, your life to the next level. Let's make it happen, guys. And we'll see you at the top. Appreciate you all. And we love you guys. We'll see y'all soon.